Let's do this. Let's do this thing. What is up, everyone? It is Mikey T, the movie star. I'm ready to go. Is everybody ready for this exclusive news piece today? We're going to be talking about Chief Keef, but also we've got something added in as well. I'm going to be talking about the Finally Rich album as well. I implore everybody in the chat today to answer the question, was Chief Keef's album Finally Rich, his first solo album on a major label? Was that a classic album? That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. But also, we're going to start things off with this major news update on Chief Keef, who is currently hospitalized. Thank you, Samantha Smith. I appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Appreciate everybody tapping in right now. I want everybody to share this video. Shortly, I'm going to be joined by my co-host for the night, RBH. We're going to be giving you a news update on Chief Keef. Big O says definitely a classic. Man, we got some hot shit for you guys tonight. Everybody light up. And let's get going on today's story. Light up, everyone, and say hello to my co-host from New Haven, RBH, Ryan B. Heezy.
What up? It's your boy, Ryan B. He. Hope we coming straight from the...
Get the sound fixed, Ryan, and you'll be set. So there's a major article on the Chicago Tribune. Former rapper Chief Keef hospitalized with major medical issue. And this is the first thing we're going to take a look at today, you guys. Just looking at the headline, though, it says former Chicago rapper. The reason they write former Chicago rapper, I assume, is because he's more of a California guy. You know what I mean? When celebrities get famous, they take their talents to California. We've seen it on many occasions. What was the saying back in the day? LeBron James took his talents to South Beach. Steve Quinn says he might have kidney failure. That's something that I speculated on the other day, Steven. Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Go ahead and share this video. Angel, appreciate you being in here tonight as well. And of course, Amanda, one of the most dedicated supporters. Steve Franco, what's good, Mikey T? Shout out from Albany, New York. Albany is in the building tonight. So let's get into this article while my co-host RBH gets his internet situated. Former Chicago rapper Chief Keef has been hospitalized with a mystery medical issue. So that's pretty alarming. It's pretty alarming, guys, to hear that Chief Keef is hospitalized with a medical issue, a mystery one, something we don't know about. A lot of speculation is that Chief Keef maybe he tested positive for COVID-19. Chief Keef revealed he was hospitalized after an Instagram story posted by the rapper showed him in the hospital bed with an IV in his arm. Chief Keef, whose real name is Keith Farrell Cozart, posted the photo on Tuesday afternoon. So we jumped on here on Tuesday and actually reported on Chief Keef posting it just like 6 hours, literally, you guys, 6 hours after Chief Keef posted it. We actually jumped on here and we're talking about it. Someone says lean. All right, let me get my co-host in here. RBH is back. RBH, is your audio on point?
Mic check. You hear me?
No, your audio. Oh, yes, your audio. Your RBH.
Yo.
Okay, my bad, man. It was definitely me again. So, all right, I want to welcome, excuse me, everyone. We're here to do an exclusive review of Finally Rich today. We're asking everybody, RBH, is the album Finally Rich classic? That's what we're going to dip into today, but welcome yourself to the channel. For everyone who hasn't seen you before, let them know who you are and where you're from, my brother.
What up? It's your boy, Ryan B. He. Homie coming straight from the Elm City. That's the 203, New Haven, Connecticut, for y'all that don't know. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. We around. I follow back. We ain't on that whack stuff.
Word. Definitely appreciate you for tapping in, Ryan. So I'm reading an article before we get started because the big news right now about Chief Keef is that he's actually he actually checked himself into the hospital this past Tuesday. So it's an article on the Chicago Tribune. It reads, former Chicago rapper Chief Keef hospitalized with mystery medical issue. So first thing that caught me there was former Chicago rapper. Is that only because he's taken his talents to California mostly, RBH?
Nah, I would say he's still a Chicago rapper. I think he reps the Shy. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
So it says here, Chief Keef revealed he was hospitalized after an Instagram story posted by the rapper showed him in the hospital bed with an IV in his arm. Chief Keef, whose real name is Keith Cozart, posted this photo Tuesday afternoon. The photo that I attached in the thumbnail for everyone wondering. And Academics actually reposted it, RBH. Academics commented, pray for Chief Sosa. It is unclear where the photo was taken. Chief Keef 25 is originally from Chicago. Okay, so when they say it's unclear where the photo was taken, they actually mean in what state. They mean in what state, in what city, you know what I mean? No information for what led to Chief Keef to seek medical attention was available. Chief Keef is one of the originators of mumble rap and known for singles like Love Sosa and Hate Being Sober since he debuted in 2012. Now it's obvious those were his two big singles, but I'm going to ask you, Chief Keef is one of the originators of mumble rap, RBH. RBH is actually our lyrical analyst. So I'm going to ask you, does Chief Keef actually get that title for you as one of the originators of mumble rap?
I mean, I will say as much as that's the type of music that it hits harder when you actually read along to the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Normally, what I do is like it does come across as, you know what I mean? I don't catch it the first time around, but then like when you read the lyrics and you connect it to the songs, then it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Then it's like, okay, then you understand the lyrical content of what he's actually saying. And that's what makes it dope. You know what I mean? It's like Old Dirty Bastard. You know, you can understand what he was saying, but you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Who would know like making noises on a track would be hot? You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Chief Keef is actually doing it, he's kind of elevating that style. You know what I mean? He's kind of taking that and he's running with it. Another thing I want to mention about Chief Keef is like those two videos of the singles that you mentioned, that revolutionized hip hop. I mean, it was no like that dude, like he shot those music videos in his living room. You know what I mean? Like that was, and it blew. You know what I mean? Because he was on house arrest. He couldn't do anything else. So he had all his homies get over, you know, all his homies come over and they shot the music video. Him, you know, him and what's the name of his crew?
GBE.
Yeah, GBE. Yeah. Like him and all GBE coming through celebrating, you know, doing those two videos and they went viral on World Star. That was incredible. It was no longer about you have to spend $1 million on doing a video. Now you can literally just be in front of a camera with your homeboys and spit your song. And as long as people have a visual, something to look at while they listen to your music, yeah. He made YouTube. I'm sorry. He was a part of what makes YouTube today.
So there's another article here on the Chicago Sun-Times. Chief Keef reveals he's in the hospital. Chief Keef is known for the hit singles I Don't Like, Finito, and Love Sosa. Chicago rapper Chief Keef revealed he's in the hospital via Instagram story on Tuesday. Chief Keef, whose real name is Keith Pharrell Cozart, posted a photo of himself hospitalized with an IV in his arm. The reason for Chief Keef's hospitalization is unknown, according to several media outlets. Fans have taken to multiple social media platforms to wish the Southside native well. Last month, listen to this, RBH. Last month, Keef posted on Instagram a photo of his swollen ankle with the caption, "Pimp in Distress." In November 2020, Keef announced that his collaboration with producer Mike Will Made It, known for curating hits for Meek Mill, Miley Cyrus, and Juicy J for the song Bang Bang, in an interview with Complex, said the album with Keef said the album with Mike Will Made It is scheduled for an early 2020 release. But all right, so Chief Keef and Mike Will Made It doing an album. But last month, Chief Keef posted a swollen picture of his ankle and said, "Pimp in distress." A lot of people saying that could be something as simple as a sprained ankle.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been. Yeah. That's a joke from it sounds like it's a joke from Friday After Next, with Cat Williams when he was like, pimp in distress, pimp in distress,
Right, right. Yep. Pimp in distress. It's a known thing, but the swollen ankle is what alarmed a lot of people. You know what I mean? Swollen ankles, swollen legs, that comes with kidney problems. I don't know if you know RBH, but you know what I mean? The kidney actually helps siphon a lot of the liquid so it like distributes through your body properly or some shit. My grandfather had kidney issues and his legs started to bloat, like they started to swell because too much extra liquid was getting down there in his legs because he had kidney issues. But that's really going to the worst spectrum of what could be happening to Chief Keef right now. He's still a young man. You know what I mean? I'd hate to think that he's really in the hospital for organ related issues because of drug use.
I mean, I would hate to hear that, but that first, I mean, if rappers really are rapping about what they're doing, and that first album, I heard a lot of Molly Water. You know what I mean? So I mean, be careful with what you do. Always do everything in moderation.
Yep.
Hope that's not the case, but I hope he gets well soon.
Yes, get well soon, Chief Keef. All right, so let me finish out this article real quick before we get into the Finally Rich album review. Despite breaking out on the music scene as a teenager, Keef, now 25, has a major influence on Chicago's rap scene, paving the way for artists like G Herbo, Little Durk, Little Bibby, Katie Got Bands, Sasha Go Hard, among many others. Keef, who is viewed as Keef is known for hits like "I Don't Like," "Finito," "Love Sosa," and Bean. Kobe, was that song actually called Bean?
I believe so.
Which peaked at number 19 on the Billboard music charts last year. Finally Rich, his debut studio album, despite disappointing sales, is certified gold. The album features appearances from French Montana, Young Jeezy, 50 Cent, and Rick Ross. The 25-year-old Keef relocated to California 7 years ago. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the Finally Rich album. It says here that the album had disappointing sales despite going gold. What's your take on that?
I mean, it wasn't really promoted the way that it should have been. And a lot of that is because of Chief Keef. You know what I mean? Like, word on the street, Chief Keef, I mean, it was kind of genius, looking back on the tactics that he was using. Like, okay, let the story tell it. When he signed, it was Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre was over there, the people that brought him into the label, they were all a part of Interscope. And then, Jimmy left, Dre was stepping down, the interest wasn't there. So, he used the publicity that they were giving him and then deliberately got out of his deal. You know what I mean? By not showing up to video shoots, not showing up to doing certain press, and getting pulled over, crashing cars, making, getting that out there, putting the wrong impression out there. You know what I mean? Like, not really something that's marketable that Interscope wanted to be a part of. Yeah. Yeah.
Chief was wild, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep, somebody in the chat, not to go back on it, but Stacks and Mill Vlog said it happened to Fredo. The same thing happened to Fredo from the excessive drug use. I don't really want to drag you back into it, RBH, but it's something we kind of have to address, like the copious amounts of drug use, man, like being able to smoke a pound by pound, order, case by case of lean, like that does a lot of wear and tear to your body.
Definitely does, man. Definitely does. That's why I say, like, everything you got to do in moderation, man. Like, it's one thing to party, you know what I'm saying? But if there ain't no party, the party can't keep going on with yourself. You know what I mean? That's when you start doing self-harm and self-damage to yourself. You know what I mean? And that's how you become an addict. That's how you form addictions that, and that they're hard to shake. You know what I mean? So I can't tell nobody what to do and what not to do because I don't know if right from wrong according to who. You know what I mean? But I will say this: moderation. Everything's done in moderation, if done at all.
Man, those guys got to a point where, Fredo got to a point where he just had big bags, like big bags of weed on him. You know what I mean? Excuse RBH. Yeah, he's having a little technical difficulty over there, but I'm glad he got that last part out about Chief Keef. Peasy, I appreciate you tapping in tonight. We're talking about Chief Keef. We're about to get into the Finally Rich album review. The Finally Rich is the debut studio album by American rapper Chief Keef. It was released December 18th, 2012. In the chat, did anybody actually go out and purchase that album? Was that actually an album that you went out and purchased? I'm going to get the word right now from the homie RBH. Yo, RBH, you good?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
So RBH, I was just getting into it. The album Finally Rich, the debut studio album from Chief Keef, it was released on December 18th, 2012. Did you actually purchase that album?
Yes.
Take me into that, man, before we get into the whole album. Take me into why you wanted to buy the album, under what circumstance you bought the album. Like Majestic said the other night, he literally didn't have to buy all of Nelly's albums because King Cash, his cousin, actually had all the albums.
Yeah, shout out my young boy Don P. You know what I'm saying? Don P definitely had a big influence on me checking out Chief Keef. Not only that, I caught the first wave. You know what I mean? Like I was on World Star, I was a fan. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, what is this? You know, these dudes jump around in their living room. You know what I mean? Talking about they don't like. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, what don't like? You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay. So like it really caught me. And then when I purchased the album. I actually I didn't purchase the album. I didn't actually go and buy it. Don P, I burnt a copy of it. He bought the album because I specifically remember flipping through the book and everything. You know what I'm saying? So like I had everything. So he burned me a copy. Matter of fact, I played that copy out so much it got scratched up so much I burnt another copy of it. That's how real it was.
Yep. And a little bit earlier, you said that the album, like, it lacked promotion. Yeah, in the real mainstream sense, it did lack promotion since Keef missed out on the video, Hate Being Sober. There's really no telling how viral that could have went with 50 and Wiz performing together for the first time. Other things, though, the way that he promoted his album was really a lot through, tell me if I'm wrong, anybody in the chat, RBH, you included, a real method of the way Chief Keef promoted the Finally Rich album was through World Star, through all of his shows, filming all the blogs of him like going through the malls and just spending thick amounts of cash, throwing cash on, spending it on expensive jeans, all types of shit like that. Yep, we're on early tonight. We're doing an exclusive.
Definitely.
We're doing an exclusive review of Finally Rich, but yeah, I will agree. He didn't have the best promotion for his debut album, but he came out and he sold 55,000 units first week.
Yep.
Yep. A lot of people apparently had the CD Finally Rich on bootleg. Keef the GOAT.
Yeah. Twice for me.
Stacks and Mill said Chief Keef never did his thing in Florida or Atlanta or Tennessee, yet he's stuck out west in California. Well, Chief Keef had definitely had a run in Chief Keef definitely had a run in Florida. So I would assume Chief Keef also had a run in Atlanta. What about Tennessee, RBH? Do you think if Chief Keef made a run in Miami, Florida, he would have went out to Tennessee? He would have went out to Atlanta as well?
Definitely. I mean, if you got a viral single, you're going to go on that circuit, especially the college circuit. You know what I mean? I'm from New Haven, Connecticut. So every time an artist is coming up and they're brand new, and I'm talking everybody, they all go through Toad's Place, which is right by Yale University. So I mean, yeah, you're gonna, and Chief Keef was there too. You know what I mean? Like everybody goes, even Kanye West was there. You know what I mean? So definitely you're gonna be put on that circuit. You're gonna touch the people. You're gonna, especially by the colleges.
So we're going to go over this whole album's track listing. Everybody knows that's how RBH and I do for our reviews. We go over everything when it comes to each track. We go over the producers. We go over the stories behind some of the records. But RBH, I'm looking at this record right here, Finally Rich. Interscope has every major name on this. Every major name. Why is the guy who got Chief Keef viral, Kanye West? Why is Kanye West absent from the Finally Rich album?
I don't know if that I don't know if the remix was done in time. And also Kanye wanted to use that for his album for the Cold Summer. For the Cold Summer album. I think that's what it appeared on.
Okay.
So you know how that go. How convenient.
Okay. Yeah, I honestly still think, just before we actually get into this album review, I actually still think that Kanye West should have made an appearance on this album. But was that Kanye's point in working with Chief Keef? Was he ever looking to do an association with him? What was your take on that, RBH?
Well, I mean, he did take his song, you know what I mean? Like, he did take his song and put it on his album. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if we're talking money, if we're talking points, this is Kanye West we're talking about. So, we're talking long term, getting publishing from or getting points from an album from an artist such as him. That's money in the bank. You know what I mean? And it's still a good look. It keeps you relevant when you don't even have an album out. And the way that things played out, that was a good look. So now that song's getting played in all types of playlists, in the Kanye West playlist, the Chief Keef playlist, all that.
All right. So RBH, everyone in the chat, I'm going to take you out of your own shoes. I'm going to put you in Chief Keef's shoes, RBH. If this is your album, Finally Rich, Kanye West has really remixed and re-released your single, I Don't Like. Do you go to Kanye West and say, yo, Yeezy, I need you on my album. This is my debut album. Or do you look at your debut album with Ross, Jeezy on it and think I could get Kanye on my second album?
Bingo. Long term, I would go with the second album. Definitely go with the second album because the album didn't really need a Kanye. The album's really hard. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it's not really Kanye doing Kanye. That's Kanye doing somebody else's style.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Putting the Kanye twist on it. So, like on a Finally Rich project, I personally I feel like the project was so solid that it didn't really need that. It didn't really need that extra push.
Dude trying to talk shit because I'm smoking my good ass weed down to the bottom. Like I ain't
Hey.
But yeah, one of the big factors in that, RBH, and I'm glad we took it that way. Is because the whole thing about Chief Keef's deal with Interscope, everyone heard Chief Keef signed a $6 million deal, but it was a $6 million deal with incentives. They covered everything. I read into that deal. They covered everything in that deal, from traveling, the way he would travel, to the whole rollout of the albums. Now, Chief Keef's album sales was a particular thing in his contract, as we were speaking on last night with Nelly. If Nelly sold a certain amount of units, it would open up the Saint Lunatics project. Now, Chief Keef's thing was he had a 3-album deal worth $6 million. If he didn't sell 250,000 units at the point that Interscope was accepting it by, they had an option to drop him.
Got you.
So there's a major chance right there that Chief Keef gets dropped after his first album. So why not bring all the big guns, like you guys said, you and Majestic said Nelly did by dropping EI on the Country Grammar album? Why not go to Kanye West and say, yo, Yeezy, my debut album, I really need you on this one, big bro. I know Kanye was doing a lot of emailing back then. Was there no way to get a hold of him? Would Kanye have said no?
That's a good question, man. I think that when they came together, they worked out what played out. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why he didn't end up on the album, and versus that, he was now Chief Keef's on the Kanye West album, and giving Chief Keef that push. I mean, Kanye West is the more established artist.
Sorry to interrupt you, RBH. Yo, Texas, we actually just briefly spoke on the hospitalization rumors of Chief Keef, and now we're moving on to a Finally Rich album review. We're taking a look at Chief Keef's debut album on Interscope Records, so stay tuned with us, man. We're going to go over every single track individually, but right now we're actually just giving a little bit of background on it. So anyways, we were just briefly touching on how Interscope had an option to drop Chief Keef if his first album wasn't successful. Now we see his album went on to sell gold. It's a gold album at this point, but it didn't really do those numbers as quick as Interscope would have liked. This album actually, it debuted on the album debuted at number 29 on the Billboard Top 200 with first week sales of 50,000 in the United States.
Sheesh.
50,000 units sold for Finally Rich. Now let's put it in perspective. French Montana came out with Excuse My French and sold 50,000 units as well. French Montana had been building himself up for multiple years. Chief Keef sort of just got put right in front of us with all the different blogs and I Don't Like and sold 50,000. Put it in perspective, RBH.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right about that. That whole layout was crazy. Yeah.
You know,
And
French's layout was crazy. They made French look like the hottest new rapper. They made French look like Biggie, the way that they put him in every single nightclub and made him look so, French deserved that rollout.
and the feature was crazy. I mean, French built himself up heavy through the mixtapes. You know what I mean? Him with the Coke Boys. And so by the time he got with Diddy, it was just an explosion. You know what I mean? And Rick Ross was on I think he executive produced the project too. You know what I'm saying? Like that was, yeah, man. Excuse My French was another monster.
So let's get into the actual album, Finally Rich. We're going to start it off with the track listing. First of all, this record looks like it has about, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beats produced by Young Chop. 9 if we're looking at the deluxe edition, which we are today. So if you guys haven't heard the deluxe edition, you're probably going to want to pull it up on Wikipedia right now as RBH and myself go over it. So they start the album off with a banger. They started off with arguably Chief Keef's biggest record, Love Sosa, arguably bigger than Don't Like.
I love that record. What a way to start an album. As soon as you put it on, you know what I mean? You got a little, who's that talking in the beginning? Is that Little Reese or is that Chief Keef?
I have no idea who was talking in the beginning. Wasn't it just like some like little voice?
Now, I think it was Lil Reese. I think like that was like a real statement to like his hood of like what was really going on at that time. You know what I mean? Like in like so if you from there and you hearing like one of like the realest dudes in your neighborhood like talking this, it hit a lot of people in their chest. You know what I mean? So for that to be the first record, that was like, because all right, the only reason why I'm making like a deal about it is because the first time I heard it, you know what I mean, it was censored. I heard it on the radio. You know what I mean? I didn't hear nobody talking in the beginning. And I don't think there's somebody talking in the beginning on the music video either. So when I heard the record, I was like, oh, what's this? You know what I mean? And it really caught my attention. Dude was just like, if I hear somebody else talking about Chief Keef,
yeah. No, that's oh, I know what you're talking about now. That was actually some fan that they actually ripped. They ripped his YouTube video because some fan was like, he just made a crazy video. He's like, if I hear anybody talking about Chief Keef one more time, I'm literally going to show up at their house. I'm going to show up at their house. I'm going to go to their school. I'm going to find out where they shop for their groceries. And I'm going to find them. They're ready to talk about Chief Keef. Chief Keef is my dog. Chief Keef is the new 50 Cent. Yeah, it wasn't exactly all that, but.
Got you. Yeah.
Rap
that caught my attention.
DZ, Daniel. Yeah, no, he was like, dude was wilding out, and they like decided to take that and put it at the beginning of the album, which was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. But it had nothing to do with the major success of Love Sosa. You know what I mean? Love Sosa, major record. What do you compare Love Sosa to though? Is there anything to compare it to, RBH? Has anybody made a comparable record to Love Sosa at this point?
I would only because they came out around the same times. I would say like French Montana's "Ain't Worry About Nothing." You know what I mean? And I would pick that record because like when that came on, it made you like as soon as it just made you move. And it's the same thing with this one. Not the same type of like amp vibe that French gave you, but this one was just like, yo, you got to turn this up. You know what I mean? You got to turn up to this one. You know what I mean? Good
Right.
introduction.
So we both agree that Chief Keef actually started this album the best possible way he could. And we're not talking about the intro, how he had the dude wilding out. That was just classic hood shit. We're talking about the way he started with Love Sosa. It's like, you know what I mean? The way he started that album is just like really great. And I really like the follow up. I like track 2 as well. Hallelujah. Hallelujah is one of the dopest rap tracks I've heard, man.
Definitely. I'm cooler than a cooler. Big shouts out to my jeweler. Hit a lick, been rich ever since. Saying Chief still broke, that's a rumor. These broke ass need tune-ups. I'm a rich ass, hallelujah. I see right through you. What?
Whoa,
Slam,
man.
yo.
If it was if Chief Keef was bigger into making videos at that point, that could have been a major music video, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely. 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 Like I said, man, if he was more into promoting the album, it probably could have made those numbers. You know what I'm saying? It probably could have really hit. But you know, when you on YouTube and you're looking at the numbers, you think, you know what I mean? You think you can just keep doing it over and over and over and over again. So like it starts getting to your head, man. Well, I don't know. I never had a conversation with Chief Keef about it, but yeah, man.
So this record,
Another video with that would have been easy.
so this record, Hallelujah, was actually produced by Young Chop as well. The first 4 cuts are produced by Young Chop, and the first 4 cuts are just amazing. Like if this had just been distributed as an EP, that would have been horrible for Chief Keef, but it really would have done it. These first 4 records. I want to ask you, how is performing a song like Hallelujah in a club? You know what I mean? Would you think he would do as a rapper performing that at a place like Toad's Place or a nightclub?
That would be a great song to come out to. Absolutely. Like I remember this one. Okay, another record I compare that to is so we're talking about a single that we're talking about a track, a record on an album that wasn't a single but had single potential, right? So I would definitely say at Toad's Place when I seen DMX come out to One More Road to Cross. You know what I'm saying? Like that one hit me in my chest, you know what I mean, off of and then there was X album. So like when he came out to that, I was like, oh, it's real. You know what I'm saying? That would definitely be a great introduction. Hallelujah. Definitely.
Hmm.
It's an anthem. Like it makes you want to sing along.
Damn, I was thinking that Ross song, Pirates.
That's another good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's another really good one. Yeah. Same energy. That's another great intro. If I was Rick Ross, I would come out to that song. Absolutely.
All
If
right,
not that, then Big Gooch.
real quick, breaking off from the review, real quick. D Thang 456 says, "What about Chief Keef Run 'Em Over?" You ever heard of it, Ryan?
Was that on the Finally Rich album?
No,
I
I
don't
do
think
not.
so, right? Nah, I didn't hear that one.
So let's get back into the album here. Next we've got the major single. Like I said, they tote records on the first 4. I Don't Like featuring Little Reese. A little bit of backstory on I Don't Like. Little Reese was actually given the opportunity. Do you want to jump on this record or do you want to jump on this record? And he actually chose Little Reese. I mean, he actually chose I Don't Like. Was that a lucky pick or is that just something you know as an artist?
That song got that energy though. You know what I mean? And they probably have already like that. That was the song they went viral with on YouTube, right? That's the song that made them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't
So like you know they probably played that song in the hood before they actually like popped with it on Interscope. So yeah, Little Reese probably knew. He probably knew that was the one.
So Chief Keef, I Don't Like gets remixed by Kanye West. We all know. Where does Little Reese end up in that whole situation, RBH, when Kanye takes it for his album? I know everyone looks at Chief Keef, but where does Little Reese end up as an artist after all that happens?
Well, I mean, he got the publicity, and now if the album, he was probably under the impression that if Chief Keef's Finally Rich album would have done the numbers that was predicted, then Chief Keef might get his own situation for his own label. So that's where he would come into. You know what I mean? He's a real play my position, play the part type of dude, ride or die. How he should be.
Yep. Yep. And just like you said, he got the publicity. Little Reese got a whole lot of publicity off of all of that, off of being featured on it, off of Kanye West coming and blowing up. I mean, Little Reese got a whole lot of money, man. Every time I see, I don't know, I already talked about it, RBH, but yo, have you seen a video of Little Reese without a big pile of money?
No, never. Reese got the money, definitely.
Being on I Don't Like put Little Reese in a position where he could make $5,000, if not more, every single day of the week.
Definitely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's on a local level. You know what I mean? Plus endorsements and everything. Yeah, man. Real estate, you get it. You can get it. It's all about the business, man. That independent grind, like people sleep on it, but I understand like when you're independent, you're self-funded, but you're talking about guys who have had these affiliations that are huge. You know what I mean? They were signed to major labels, so like they've had the situation. So I mean, once the people know who you are, it's nothing to do it yourself. And that's how you get all the money back. You sign with labels, you gotta split pennies. You know what I mean? But you do it yourself, everything you put in, you get that back and then some. I believe Dame Dash preaches about that a lot.
So the next record that we're going to get into is one of my favorite personally. Number 4, No Tomorrow. That is one of my favorite tracks on the whole album, man. No Tomorrow really showed me a lot about Chief Keef. I'd say that track has the most repeat value on the album. I've probably replayed that track 3 times in a row before. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
People
definitely.
people repeat I Don't Like, people repeat Love Sosa. You know what I mean? I think No Tomorrow has a lot of repeat value. So I give that record an A all day. What was your take on No Tomorrow?
Definitely. All right. So when I played the album, I just hit play like today. You know what I mean? When I started my shower routine, I told Alexa to hit play on the Finally Rich Chief Keef album. So when this song came on, I was like, I definitely feel you on that. I'm like, I should run this one back. But I didn't have all day to be in the, just to be jamming to this one song where I was at. But yeah, definitely had replay value, definitely marketable value. I definitely think that song could even have been a single. You know what I mean? It stood out heavy. This At this point, when I got to this number of the album, I was like, okay, we working with something. I was happy I spent my money. You know what I mean? Like when you get to that point where you're just like, yo, I don't have to skip nothing yet, and you're already like on track 4 or 5.
Crazy.
Definitely. This is when I was like, okay, this was worth my investment.
So we really, at this point, though, we're first 4 tracks in, and we haven't gotten an outside feature. So a lot of people who know Chief Keef at this point, they haven't gotten an outside feature. All we've gotten at this point is Little Reese, who came on and spit on I Don't Like. But track 5, this is actually the new Chief Keef. But excuse me. Actually, track 4 was produced by Mike Will Made It. Mike Will Made It produced No Tomorrow. So that's amazing. He actually switched producers on that record. And then track 5, he goes back to working with Young Chop, but he opens up to his first feature, Hate Being Sober, which was supposed to be the 3rd single with 50 Cent and Wiz Khalifa. I'm going to let you talk about this record first, RBH.
This record was serious, man. This was another anthem. You know what I mean? This one, I'm a smoker, I'm a drinker. Like those lyrics were real. And the beat was hot and the melody was dope. 50 did his thing, Wiz did his thing, and Chief Keef did his thing. Everybody was spitting on that one. Everybody went hard. The only problem was Chief Keef didn't show up for the music video. And I seen 50 in Wiz's Instagram. Like they were in the desert, they were on mopeds. They had the girls out there. Like they was ready. You know what I mean? The only thing it was missing was the main artist who it was for.
Whoa, Ryan. RBH. Let me stop you right there. They were not on mopeds out in the desert, first of all. They were not on mopeds. If they were on mopeds, I could see why Chief Keef would ditch them. He'd be like, Yo, they are out on mopeds in the Las Vegas desert. Nah, they were on some Mad Max shit out there. They were on some Mad Max shit out there, driving around on some shit, RBH.
Yeah. Wasn't it like go-karts and stuff and like doom buggies and like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
no, it
they
was like the
weren't no
military carts,
mopeds,
right?
though, bro. Don't be on here saying, yo, everybody be saying I be saying shit about 50 Cent, but don't be on this channel saying that 50 Cent was in the Vegas desert, the Nevada desert, riding on mopeds, bro. Put a little bit more respect on 50 Cent's name than that. My man
It was something,
don't be
man. It was
driving no mopeds in the desert.
something.
We'll talk. We'll talk. Said. Well, let's get back into it. I'm sorry. I was just messing around. I'm a comedian. Yo, Mike Money. Thanks for tuning in, man. We spoke on that a little bit earlier about Chief Keef being in the hospital for unknown medical reasons. Right now, we're moved on to the Finally Rich album review. Nell says Finally Rich is a classic. We'll talk pertaining to the record we're on right now, you guys. Right now, we're speaking on Hate Being Sober. Will Talk says he skipped the music video. If he would have did that, he would be more mainstream. Is that accurate?
I would think so. Yeah, I think so. Sound about right.
So he would be more mainstream if that music video would have came out back then?
Yeah, if you could prove you could pop with them stars, but nobody wants to work with like, yo, the music might be great, you know what I mean, and all that, but if you're not easy to work with, you know what I mean, if you're unprofessional, nobody's gonna want to work with you. Straight up and down.
Okay. So we're not necessarily looking at the music video for this album review. So looking at these first 5 tracks, he's come off, he's putting up A music with Chop. He's got A features and A production with Mike Will Made It, 50 Cent and Wiz. Hate Being Sober is a record that, people love. People love the record Hate Being Sober, myself included. I agree. I think if he would have dropped that music video, it would have been a lot better for Chief Keef's career. I think this is literally Chief Keef's best single. His best feature that he's ever done is with 50 and Wiz. Actually, I'm speaking a little bit too soon because he kills those features with French and Young Jeezy coming up.
I was about to say, yeah, and Ross.
You know what I mean? But this
is a good one.
Sober is one of Chief Keef's best songs. And now we're gonna move on to the next record, a joint that you actually sent me in the messages earlier. KK. KK is a record that has a great sound to it. It's actually produced by a guy named KE on the track. KK, it shows a more vulnerable side of Chief Keef as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And it was definitely an Interscope record too. You could definitely tell, like the way it was placed. Like you need those type of records. When you normally get a Chief Keef project, like a mixtape, you don't really hear a lot of the emotional Chief Keef. You hear the bang bang, you know?
Right. Let's see. So there's pulling up in foreigns. Yeah. You got typical Chief Keef. These hoes love Chief Keef. They say they want my steez. They say that I got everything that I dream. I say that is bitch. She just want to F me. He sneaked this. It's ugly. I ordered the bitch some bubbly. You got to hear a different, the sing-songy Chief Keef in this one. You know what I mean?
Basically.
I ordered bubbly. All the bitch love me. You know what I mean? Oh, the bitch fuck me. Oh, the bitch want me. It was different. You know what I mean?
It's never been so much about what he says. It's always more about how he says it. And the fact that you can't understand it until you actually go back and read them lyrics and then find out that it's not just mumble, like he's actually saying something with the beat. It's dope, man. It's something different.
DZ saying, now I got to bump the album on my ride home from work tonight. Hell yeah. It's definitely a dope album. let me see how long this album is. Actually, I didn't speak on that. The Finally Rich album is actually 45 minutes long. It was distributed by Interscope. Um, got Young Chop, KE on the track. Mike Will made it. Nard and B. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Nard and B. But yeah, no, KK was definitely a dope record and a dope different. Like I said, we got to hear Chief Keef in a whole different light. So now we move on to track number 7, a record that I would have to say is the worst track. The worst track on the album, Finally Rich. It's Laughing to the Bank. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
I didn't skip it.
I
ain't gonna say it's my favorite, but I didn't skip it. Didn't skip it.
Well, I mean, are you I guess we'll save that till the end. I guess we'll save that till the end if I ask you if this was the worst track. But all right, DZ said it grew on me. This is one that can't grow on you guys. This is one that can't grow on me. I don't know. I think it was a wasted beat. I think it was a wasted beat, to be honest with you. It was produced by YG on the beat.
It was definitely a slow creeper. yeah. I mean, it's cool, man. It's cool. I don't hate it. I don't hate the song. I don't hate it. Not my favorite, but definitely not my least favorite.
So RBH, let me ask you this as a rapper. RX Texas said, "Laughing to the Banks sucks lyrically, but it's fun to rap along with."
Exactly. But Chief Keef's not really a lyricist, though. You know what I mean? Would you put him in the top 5 or top 10 great lyricists of all time? No, but he's good at what he does.
Right, but this was just showing me that this was the Chief Keef that I didn't want. I didn't want the Chief Keef. There's one Chief Keef song out there where he's literally coughing on the song for the first 30 seconds, 45 seconds. He's coughing on the song.
Yeah, you know, sometimes as an artist, you try things. Sometimes it work, sometimes it don't. But yeah, I can't co-sign coughing.
Yeah. Yo, Uncal, if anybody wants to come on live and spit tonight, I will allow it. But what I ask is just send in a quick Cash App donation, and I'm going to post the link as well. I'm going to pin the shit in the chat. If anybody wants to join in freestyle, just send a donation to the channel. Support the channel, man. We're on here, you know what I mean? Doing this shit. What record are we on now, man? Now we can actually move on from what I would call the worst record. I've liked every record up. I've liked every record up to this joint.
Yeah, nah, I agree. Like I said, it's the first one that I didn't skip, but if I was gonna skip one on the second time go round, if I was letting the album play twice, yeah. If we're just talking about going to my favorite records, nah, yeah. This is where it starts getting a little jumpy.
All right, so Chief Keef signed to Interscope. Another artist that was recently signed to Interscope around this time was French Montana, who actually features on the record Diamonds. And man, we do know that French went on to build a little bit of a relationship with Young Chop after this record. Because Young Chop actually produced the record Diamonds. And I gotta say, man, Chief Keef had the best features on his album from French, Wiz, Chief Keef. We'll get on to the others later, but he really had these A-list features. How do you think this feature came about? Was it more so the Interscope thing, Jimmy Iovine?
Definitely. That was definitely an Interscope move. Definitely an Interscope move. I mean, all the features look like Interscope moves. You know what I mean? They probably had who they wanted him set up with, or who they already knew that they kind of wanted him to set up with. You know, because that also helps out their artists because they're also on the same label. But like it also sets up like, you know, that chemistry. You know what I mean? You got to also find that chemistry too.
They definitely had chemistry. Wow, Jimmy Iovine was really behind Chief Keef. Do you think, like, I mean, I could only speculate, but wow, like he must have just been like, yo, Chief Keef is the coolest new artist. French is the coolest new artist. They need to come together.
Boom. 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 And then on top of that, they probably asked him, pick 3 artists that you really want to work with. and we'll pay for it.
Yep. And so what did you think overall about the record Diamonds?
I thought it was amazing. Good chemistry and good connection. You know what I mean? It definitely felt like one of those records where the both of them were in the studio. It wasn't an email thing back and forth. Definitely like they actually worked on that one together. That's the vibe. That's the feel I got for it. Could be wrong, but
I think you might be right, man. I would say they would have had to been in the studio for that one, man. And probably he played it and then French was like, yeah, I'll take that one.
word.
Um,
Word.
So the next record we get into is Ballin. And this is the record where Chief Keef actually starts off by telling people, yo, I used to tell people I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get a car, and I'm going to be famous before you. And you remember this, RBH? He was actually speaking on how his one sister said, his little sister said, no, I'm going to be rich before you, because she thought she wanted to be a lawyer. You know what I mean? And Chief Keef went on to say that his family thought he was going to be a screw up.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. This is where we start getting lyrical Chief Keef, where it's not just, the typical, you're not the norm. Like these are the type of records that, I love to hear from an artist, where they really showcase themselves and their stories and their backstories. They're creating that image that they're giving us the structure, the foundation to the image that they're portraying of what makes them who they are and why they have the mentality that they do. The who's, what's, where's, why's. I mean, it's one of those records. That's what I call them. I think that's dope.
Yo, Fredo, appreciate that Cash App donation. Jump in here, man. Hit that link and come in and join us, man. Yeah, I really thought the record Ballin' was dope, RBH.
Definitely.
I thought it was dope, just like, his cadence on it too is what caught me again, like with KK, and some of the lyrics that would tell you about his lifestyle, like he said, rocking in my pink dolphin, finna pop me a blue dolphin. And Pink Dolphin was actually a new clothing store that had opened. I think it opened in California. I'm not sure if there was any in Miami, but I remember that whole thing. Do you think he was really popping blue dolphins though, RBH?
Definitely. Probably had a relationship with the store owner.
No, I'm talking about he said fitting to go in Pink Dolphin, then I'm gonna pop me a blue dolphin.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think he's one of them dudes that really rap about what he do. And by Pink Dolphin, are we talking about the illegal substance of Molly or ecstasy?
Right. See, he flipped it. There was a store called Pink Dolphin. If you look it up on Google, there was a store that started up, a whole new brand called Pink Dolphin. And they invited Chief Keef to come to their store for their grand opening. And so Chief Keef goes, rocking in my Pink Dolphin, finna pop me a blue dolphin.
Nice little on words.
Okay, we got a guest joining us. We have our co-host from Majestic.
Yeah.
My brothers. How y'all doing? Can y'all hear
me? Majestic, thanks for joining us. Napdot, you can send a super chat. Man. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Yep, exactly. Fly Prolific. Majestic, just to get you caught up, we're actually reviewing the Finally Rich album by Chief Keef. Fly Prolific says Pink Dolphin is a clothing line, because I was just reading this lyric from Chief Keef. The lyric was, rocking in my pink dolphin, finna pop me a blue dolphin.
Yeah, that's a clothing line.
Right, but a blue dolphin is
yeah. The jigger.
So let's get back into the album review though. So the next record after Ballin' was actually Chief Keef connecting with Young Jeezy on the record Understand Me. That's a record that really stood out to me, man. I really love that joint. And there were some rumors of Chief Keef actually doing more of a deal. They were doing a record deal with Young Jeezy. Since you just tapped in Majestic, what would you have thought if Chief Keef had done a situation with Young Jeezy back then?
Well, at the point, he was already hot. He was hot. So wherever he went, he was going to stand out regardless, because he had that wave. Chief Keef was the man at that point. Like, he made young guys look real cool again, man. Like for real, you know what I'm saying? Because you know you got the ones that was doing the dancing and the pop locking and stuff, and he brought it back with that gangster stuff. If he would have did it, no matter wherever he would have went, it would have been a good situation for him. And the song was dope, man. The song was dope.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Chief Keef's feature with Young Jeezy.
Yeah.
That's why I have a hard time saying what my favorite one was, because the way that Young Jeezy came on, it was amazing. And the way Chief Keef and him they came together on that, like Young Jeezy really has a way of working with these young rappers from Kodak to YG. You know what I mean? Young Jeezy knows how to tap in with the young talent.
Yep. It's all about
I
delivery.
almost wouldn't even be surprised if Jeezy wrote that verse originally for a Don't Like freestyle. You know what I'm saying? He recites a lot of those lyrics in that verse. I just don't like. He starts the verse off like that. Fake. That's that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. It was hard.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next track 11, which is actually titled 300.
Woo!
300. Now, this track was actually a little bit different than I expected. When I first heard it, I wasn't expecting such a slow cadence. You know what I mean? I was expecting the slow way that it actually came in. They actually threw me off with that, which actually made me enjoy it. You know, the way he came on 300. It's like cloud. Now I'm running.
Yeah.
With my youngin.
That was so catchy right there. Like,
yeah,
you couldn't do nothing but vibe with that, and the beat was crazy.
Honestly, that's like dread music. You know what I'm saying? If you had dreads, you know what I'm saying? Bye bye. I think that was a determining factor of whether they thought a song was hot or not.
That's like gangster mosh pit music. You hear me?
I like my bitch conceited. Likes his bitches conceited, man. Majestic, is that how you like your women?
You got to know your worth, of course. Like I love a woman that knows she's beautiful. You know, I mean, of course we're gonna remind them every day, but I love a woman that has that confidence and conceited about herself. You make me want you even more.
Confidence is key.
Major salute to Frank Had. $5 super chat. Really appreciate it. Frank Had said, "I'm not a fan of Chief Keef, but all blessings to him. He was real, and now he's being taken down." Well, you know, all of our blessings go out to Chief Keef right now. I really hope he pulls through this whole BS. A lot of speculation about what's wrong with him right now. Yeah. But you know, we're going over this whole situation. We're going over this whole album, I should say, right now. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the last record before we get on to the deluxe edition. The last record, Finally Rich. Let's kick us off. Kick us off, Ryan.
It's a good ending. It was a good ending to the album. You know what I'm saying? When I got there, again, like this is one of those not a typical Chief Keef records. You know what I mean? This is a special, different type of Chief Keef / Interscope collaboration. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibes I get when I hear it. But it's a good ending to an album, and it's the title track of the album. You know what I'm saying? I think it held up. Not one of my favorites, but not one of my least. I thought, you know, now that we're coming to the end of the album, I thought this was a good. What songs did we really not like? Maybe one, if two. You know, the ha ha ha. But other than that, you know, this album was pretty solid. Great job. And yeah, Finally Rich was definitely a good ending. What y'all think?
I like the joint where he goes, "I gotta take care of my squad before everybody get robbed for the night job and day job. So I take care of my mama, take care of my daughter, and I take care of my brothers."
Hey.
You know what I mean? Like Chief Keef really had it going. You know what I mean? Chief Keef really had it going on this album. Like you said, RBH, there wasn't any record that you really wanted to skip. And we're going to go back through this for Majestic so he can get his thoughts in on some of the key records. But I'd say there's no records here that you really want to skip. Majestic, is Finally Rich a record that stood out to you on this album, the actual title track?
It wasn't my favorite, but it was dope. It was dope. It was cool. I like how he put it together. You know, of course, the instrumental was nice. You know, and shout out to whoever produced it. but it really didn't stand out like 300 and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a decent way to end it.
So that was actually produced by Young Chop. There was like 8-9 records on here produced by Young Chop. Clint Canton, Chief Keef actually checked himself into the hospital this past Tuesday. So let me see here. We're gonna get back into it. The album Finally Rich started off with Love Sosa. Majestic, did you want to give your comment on Love Sosa?
Hey, that's my number one joint right there. That's like an anthem song. Like, you know what I'm saying? He came with it on that one all around the board. Like, I think when he made that song, he really delivered on that. He showcased that, first off, he slowed it down. Everybody could understand what he was saying, and it was relatable, and everybody loved that song, of course. He said, hey, I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm the shit.
Then also he had the next record, track 2, Hallelujah.
Oh, dope. Production, everything, like dope. Like, yeah. How could you not, man? When you get in your car and you turn that on, that only thing you can do is turn your volume as far as it can go up. Seriously.
Big facts.
I don't like the major single.
I was gonna say, come on, man, that speaks for itself. Like, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? That right there gonna get you into it already. He really delivered on that. Like, anybody that was, counting him out, like, he came with it.
He also had the Mike Will Made It produced track. So at this point, Young Chop had produced all 3 of those records you just spoke on. He went to another direction. He worked with Mike Will Made It on a track called No Tomorrow, which was one of my personal favorites.
No Tomorrow. I like that as well. That was a good move, you know what I'm saying, by him working with Mike Will, because Mike Will can really bring that out of you. He really can. So I think that was dope.
From there, he goes from working with Mike Will Made It to now working with 50 Cent and Wiz Khalifa on what was supposed to be the 3rd single, Hate Being Sober.
Yeah. I like that. It was different. That was different. I wasn't expecting him to go that way, but hey, like I say, Chief Keef was, no matter how you look at it, Chief Keef was very creative, for his style. He was very creative. So I like that track.
Very honest song. Very honest.
Yeah.
I hate being sober.
Yeah, like, he was everything he was saying was very relatable.
One of the records that we decided we didn't like was Laughing to the Bank.
Oh my gosh. Man, like, you doing it like that was, I mean, big ups to him for doing this thing on the track, but at the same time, it's just like, I'm not a fan of it. I wasn't.
All right, so now that we've got Majestic caught up, let's get into the deluxe edition. We're going to go into the deluxe edition as well as the iTunes Store bonus track. So we got one of my favorite records actually was Sit Go. All my bitches know I get dough. You know what I'm saying? Like that record right there. And they did a video for it too, where they actually pulled up on the the 4-wheelers and shit, I believe. I think they did a video for it.
Yeah, that was all right. That was cool.
Eric, all right, if you want that Super Bowl review, hit that Cash App, my dude. They want us to come here and review the Super Bowl. All right, y'all.
Probably going to be home for that anyway with the storm we got coming. Calm down.
So, all right. So Sit Go was definitely one of my favorite. And then he also had a record called Don't Make No Sense. Chief Keef featuring Master P and Fat Trell. RBH, let me get your take on that record, man. I thought it was dope how Chief Keef actually linked up with Fat Trell, and he had Master P on the iTunes. Master P was on Finally Rich.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that. I never heard the deluxe version until you told me about that earlier. When I checked it out, I was like, wow, that's incredible. It's definitely a nice bonus track. Doesn't really fit the vibe of the entire album, but this is definitely a good track that I would have been happy if I spent money on the deluxe. Definitely, I would have spent a couple more dollars for a track with Fat Trell and Master P and Chief Keef. Definitely.
Yeah. I always thought that Fat Trell and Chief Keef really made a good pairing What did you think about, Fat Trell's relationship with Master P, Majestic, and him going from Master P right over to Rick Ross when he got the opportunity?
I think Master P the type of guy that put people in position. You know what I'm saying? I don't, from what I heard, that he never been the type to hold nobody back. You know what I'm saying? So I think really he take people from the hood, he give them opportunity, and wherever you want to go from there, that's up to you. So I think that was a dope situation for him. A lot of people would be like, oh, he bandwagon hopping this, that, and third. But people don't understand that behind closed doors, this man is giving you an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So he did what was best for him. So I think it was cool.
So there was a record called Savage featured on the Best Buy Deluxe edition as well. Many people probably didn't hear it. RBH, did you get a chance to check that one out?
Nah, I didn't get that far. I didn't hear that one.
So yeah, I'm just gonna say that Savage wasn't really anything to be missing.
Oh no, sorry, no, you sent me Savage. No, I'm sorry, apologies. Yeah. I did listen to Savage. It's all right. It was all right. Another record that I never heard. Still one of the more up to par Chief Keef records. I feel like everything after Finally Rich wasn't Finally Rich. I feel like it was a different Chief Keef. So I mean, as far as keeping that flow going, keeping that energy, good record. But no, not my favorite at all.
I thought Sit Go and Kobe could have been added to the Finally Rich album. I thought they probably could have taken out taken out Laugh to the Bank. There was a couple other records like Got Them Bands and Don't Know Them that was released while Chief Keef was on the independent circuit more so. I don't feel like they fit the album either. So let's go ahead before we got my dude about to come in for a live freestyle. Fredo is in the building, everyone.
Yeah.
Yo, what up with y'all? What up with y'all, man?
What up, G's? We're about to bring you in after we grade this album. So right now we are going to grade the Finally Rich album. All right, you know how we grade? We grade from F to A+.
Yeah.
Hold on. Did we go over Kobe?
No, we didn't go over Kobe. Do you have anything that you want to say shortly about Kobe? That was featured. Kobe was actually featured on the deluxe bonus edition.
Wow, Kobe should have been on the actual album. That is my favorite. I thought that was on the album. I was like, yo, we missing this song. Yo, that is the best Kobe Bryant anthem song ever. Ever, bro. Ever. Kobe is an amazing. I didn't know that was a bonus cut. That should have been part of the original structure of the album. Excuse me. Sorry. That's one of the top 5. That's one of my top 5 songs on this album. My bad. We almost went and didn't even talk about that one.
Yeah, excuse us. Thank you for bringing that up, RBH. Major. So let's get into it. Let's do an official grade for the Finally Rich album. I'm going to go ahead and go first, as I'm going to let everybody in the chat hit their grade as well. I'm going to have to say this album right here, because of the fact that they have some strong deluxe bonus editions. I'm talking about Sit Go. I'm talking about Kobe. I'm talking about actually having Fat Trell and Master P oddly on the album. I'm going to have to give this album an A overall. I'm going to give this album an A because there's only one track that you could really do without on Finally Rich. So that means to me that the Finally Rich album was actually a classic album. It was Chief Keef's, in my opinion, his only classic album at this point. But we'll have to go into other albums at another. It's a classic album on this review as far as I'm concerned. But we're gonna blend in all of our reviews in a second. RBH, what would you give the Finally Rich album?
I got to give it an A+, but not 100%. It's a 97 for me, 97%, because he did have the songs that, like I said, first time listening to it, there are no skips. I enjoyed it all the way through. But if I was going to listen to the album back to back, when I get the songs like Ha Ha Ha, that one's going to get skipped. So I can't give it 100%, but I will give credit where credit is due. I think it's a classic album, so I'm going to give it an A+, 97%.
A+. We got an A+, man. That is dope. All right, Majestic.
I mean, I'm just gonna chime in on what RBH said. It was definitely an A+. It was definitely an A+. I just feel like, it was one song that you possibly could skip. But for the most part, his movement, everything that he was doing was A1. You know, you couldn't help but love it. So A plus. We in there.
Yo, Fredo, man, welcome to the channel tonight. How you doing tonight, Fredo?
I'm good, bro. How y'all doing?
Fredo.
So, Fredo, before we get into some bars, man, because I know you want to hit the people with some of that new work you've been working on. Do you have anything to say? Do you have anything you wanted to chime in and say about the Finally Rich album? And could you give us an overall grade of the album?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I can't give you an honest overall rated album because I ain't go through the whole album. You know, all I heard was, you know what I'm saying, obviously Hate Being Sober, Love Sosa, and I Don't Like. So, you know what I'm saying, around that time I was just riding around in the caravan, you know what I'm saying, hearing what was ever on the radio, you know what I'm saying, around 2012. So I ain't really dive into the whole, you know what I'm saying, the whole album, but I definitely like, you know, all the radio singles that I did hear.
Word. How big of an influence did Chief Keef have in your area?
Oh, you know, my area was small, you know what I mean? So everybody, you know what I'm saying, Chief Keef, you know, in a small area, everybody adapts to what's going on with the music for, like, you know what I'm saying, the younger crowd. So now I had my shit turned for real, for real.
Real shit, Fredo, man. Well, for everyone who doesn't know you, for any new viewers right now, DZ gave it an A-. So we're going to go ahead overall and give the Finally Rich album an A overall. We'll wait till some more grades come in. But yo, Fredo, man, introduce yourself to everybody and hit us with some of those hot bars.
Yeah, I go by the name A. Fredo from Chester, Pennsylvania, currently in Jacksonville, Florida. The hottest in the, you know what I'm saying, the whole motherfucking area. I don't care what you say when it comes to this bar work. But look, I said, the Porsche coming with horses, my matte sheepskin, I'm coming with a stampede, I'm stamped, take heed, push the envelope. I provide postal service, go postal, it makes them nervous. Crazy in the head, it's crazy how I was bred. I'm eating Panera till I'm in the Panamera, the sauce is marinara, it's that bull, Fredo. Feminine MCs wearing purses out of Cato, lyrical tornado. I spit a tongue twister with the same speed as Twister. Swear you got me twisted, I'm already enlisted. Ready for battle, slithering snakes here at rattle, kick rocks, skedaddle, baby straddle the saddle. You sleep sheep herd, I was slaughtering cattle, slaughtering livestock, live animals and stocked. I'm snapping like a croc in a snap, I'm at your jock strapped. That's a stereotype, shit my stereo might disintegrate. I'm in the center of greatness, the crown's fitted for the king, Mitchell and Ness. Speaking of it, since we talking about Chief Keef, look, rappers that don't write, as far as the I Don't Like topic, rapper, because I did that beat, but look, rappers that don't write, that's that shit I don't like. They Interscope, meaning they insight, I'll make them disappear, that's ghost, right? Look, ooh, I'm passing past these cats in every category. I slaughter cats, make a horrible horror story, bloody gory, to God be the glory. All subtleties with a sudden sneeze, my allergies worth 100 G's, my highs blown from MCs. I know they see what MCs made 2 M's off LPs. I know they say before a tree grows, you gotta plant the seed, but you suck, so you won't succeed. I'm dying, the last of a dying breed. Drago, Dragon, Apollo Creed. I feed off energy, you know the vibe. Be the head leader of the tribe. I'm a savage mixed with a scavenger. I bathe in a Sabbath bath. Still no days off. You're a couch potato who lays halfway off the couch. I got them bumping their head. Ouch. I mean, a little light, something light.
Okay. Let's get it.
That's some work, man. You've been working, huh? Well, stay tapped in with us for a second. We're gonna bring you back in just a second for a few more bars. All right, the triangle says you legit, bro. On the Grind TV. All right, tell your homie to send in a little Cash App donation and come mess with us. Fredo just came in to tap in and show us some of his new work. Ryan, man, what was you thinking about? Yo, Angel, Que Paso, what's poppin'? Que Paso.
Man, you already know Fredo got that sauce, bro. Fredo got that sauce, man.
RBH, you didn't have a chance to bless everyone with some bars last night. Yo, just tell him to send in like $15, $10, $15, $20, whatever he can donate, man. It don't matter. Send him through. Yo, RBH, man, you didn't get a chance to set it off yesterday, man.
You ain't lying, bro.
I'm gonna need you to hit the people with something.
I got you, man. I got you. Yo, Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Brian B. Easy he. Homie coming straight from the Elm City. That's a 203. New Haven, Connecticut. For y'all that don't know, spit something for y'all. Let's get it. Yo. I be twisting up. Fill up a cup. Feel like they setting me up. Man, they cheap as girls be giving it up. No, I be living it up. Already know you ain't tough. Acting and backing it up. Getting hit up. I know you be digging them up. Fucking speed up. They don't be keeping it up. All these girlies say they love me. Say they want my baby. Explained it to my main chick. She got frantic. Don't believe me. All on my phone. Can't leave me alone. But you say that you love me. All on my grill. Won't let me chill. But you think I'm funny? Nah. Want me to say I'm sorry. I don't apologize. Want me to compromise, but I ain't compromised. Baby, I'm customized. Ain't like these guys. Still believe them lies from your last tries. Remember large fries, seen it in your eyes when you left for mines. Now these haters be plotting. Now these be popping. Try to shoot they shot because I'm on top. They say I'm blocking. Heard you buying drinks in the club. Thought you was something. You get them drunk. I picked her up right after we was humping. Got me all up in my bag. Let me dump it out. Frenemies keep on plotting just to take it out. Aim the toolie at your moolie if I bring it out. You know I say it how I smoke it. They just pop a clout.
All right. Let's bring Fredo back in here. Fredo, all right, man. You ready to go back at it?
Yeah, man.
Let's go. Let's go, Fredo.
I said, look, I'm in my bag, finna let the duffel speak. Break your cheekbone and jaw, turn the other cheek raw. Keep it a bean. I crunch and rap rappers into a supreme being. Goodness gracious, my head space is spacious. No room for skeezers. I spaz like seizures, haunting all features. I can't stand spectating from the bleachers. I need exact change, not a fair amount. Cause homies in the mountains making movies paramount. If I had the right amount, Clifford Harris, bring them out. I united with my masters, independent Steve Stout. You constricted the contracts, trying to ease out from a boa constrictor, squeezing royalties out while you getting fucked for pub like you subbed the Pornhub. Shoulda wore a glove, enough of that, wrap it up. This Remy got mine, try and pat me up. I might pound, dap it up.
Yeah, all right, man. You've been working.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Look,
You've been working.
really.
Where do you you be recording at the crib? You be going to record once or twice a month at a professional studio? How do you do it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, about, you know what I'm saying? Once or twice a month, professional studio till I get the crib, you know, set up back at the crib. But yeah, once or twice a month, record like 3 records at a time.
Okay. So when you book a session, how far do you got to literally drive for the studio? How many hours are you booking? What's your session like?
Yeah, shit, it was only like about 15 minutes away, so you know it's close. But that was when I lived on the west side. I'm on the south side now, Atlantic, but in Jacksonville. But yeah, you know, I booked like 3-hour sessions. You know what I mean? With my band Dorian, because we collaborate a lot. But so like all the tracks I got right now, it's like me and him going back and forth. You know what I'm saying, on the records, because people really gravitated to that. You know, our chemistry and shit. But I got 3 records coming, you know what I'm saying, just me on everything, the hook and verses. And you know what I mean? So like
that.
Oh, you can get them on SoundCloud. You know, everything's on my link. You just go to Fredo on, you know what I mean, Fredo27. As soon as you put Fredo, it's gonna pop up on Instagram. You go there, you can hit the link tree, go to all my shit, you know what I mean? Everything's on. I got the second record's coming to SoundCloud. I mean, coming to Spotify. I have 2 official records on there. You know, the back end, you gotta do the paperwork and shit, get all your royalties right with BMI and shit before you put it out there. So that's why I got Lucky Number 6 up there right now on Spotify. And Time Flies is coming March 10th. It's already set to come out, you know what I'm saying, on all DSPs March 10th. But Spotify got all the other extra 2 records that we put out because we couldn't get him, you know what I'm saying, in touch with the producer to get the paperwork right. So those are just out, you know what I mean? And then we got another record coming soon. What happened?
And what'd you say your producer was?
You said,
my bad, Mike. Who was your producer?
Oh, I ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no actual in-house producer that I work with, you know what I mean? I have to be, you know, get in touch with the producer, you know what I'm saying, through via email, whatever, and then we take care of the paperwork from there. But I'm working on getting in the lab with, you know what I'm saying, in-house producer that work directly with you. But I do have a new producer that I am working with now called New Hair Beats. We got a crazy record coming called Time Difference.
Okay, Willimantic is in the building. Willimantic, Connecticut. Well, Fredo just put on right there for Jacksonville, man. I really appreciate that freestyle. Just hold tight with us, Fredo. We're not going to cut the stream just yet. So, yo, RBH, man, I feel like that freestyle right there that Fredo did, it was some bars. That shit was some bars. He came in with some different shit than he did the first time. Okay.
Definitely.
New London, Connecticut in the house too. Was popping, Joe.
Yo, what up, CT?
Damn, Connecticut's tapped in with us, RBH.
What's up, man?
Yo, Mr. Bivens. Mr. Bivens was popping.
Shout out Bivens.
Chicago Bulls emblem. He's got the Chicago Bulls emblem right there, man.
Hey.
Yep. You know, Chicago Bulls, everybody loved the Chicago Bulls back in 1995, 1996.
That was the era. That was the golden era. Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman.
Okay, the Triangle asked, what rappers inspired you all? What rappers inspired us? Do you want to kick that off, RBH?
I love Redman. Overall, dope MC. Clever, witty, good storyteller, funny. You know what I'm saying? He does it for me. A new version of him would be like 2 Chainz. You know what I mean? I think everybody that's dope, anybody that you could, any MC that brings something different to the table you can learn from, definitely inspiration. But people that made me want to get started, like Redman, Jay-Z, you know, Eminem, the way he put his words together, Juicy J, Project Pat. Yeah, that list is long, bro. DMX.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Artists that inspired you to get into the game. Artists that inspired me to get in the game. Somebody that made me want to learn more about hip hop, that made me want to get into what I'm doing currently. That's what he's asking, RBH. It would have to be something like Big L's story. You know what I mean? Not having enough information about somebody like Big L before he got killed. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying. Definitely. Biggie and Pac, that sucked me in.
Yep. You know, I honestly came in right after Biggie and Pac actually got, going. So Bivens said he's from Chicago, living in Rhode Island. Big salute to you, man. I'm actually Connecticut, Rhode Island border myself, man, my whole life. Yo, send him in, man. We're going to be on for another 20, 30 minutes, man. Come on now. Jump in here. We're waiting on you. Robert Jones said Tupac when we're talking about artists that inspire you to jump into this shit.
Definitely Tupac. Definitely Machiavelli. That goes without saying.
Yo, Fredo, do you want to answer that question real quick? As far as what artist inspired you when you were younger?
50 Cent, straight up. My pops had got out of prison or whatever. I was living with my mom, you know what I'm saying? But then when I finally moved in with him, first thing I seen CD he had some, I don't know where he got it from, but it was Get Rich or Die Trying. So, you know what I mean? I used to play that shit 12 years old in the headphones on the CD player every day. Been patiently waiting for a track to explode on. Stun on you want in your ass to get rolled on. You know what I mean? Like that shit. I used to play that shit back to back, and then, with M on that shit, I thought the wordplay was amazing. You take some Big and some Pac and you mix them up in the pot, sprinkle a little bit yellow top. What the fuck do you got? Yeah, you know what I mean? So
a little Big L on top. Yep. It's crazy that Eminem actually shouted out Big L on that one too, because everybody else would always shout out Pac and Big, but the way that he said sprinkle little Big L on top, what you got it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Major right there, man. So that was one of the inspiring albums that what was the first album you actually went on to purchase then yourself?
Shit. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never, I'm like Puerto Rican too, so I was really on the reggaeton scene, you feel me? So I ain't really purchased no
Nori's album.
Yeah, Nori, yeah. Nori, yeah.
Hell yeah.
But
hell yeah.
Also, you know what I mean? Besides that, like I said, I was on the reggaeton shit. So yeah, Nori first, you know what I'm saying? Actual hip hop American, you know what I'm saying, album.
Class Classic said M killed that song. The Triangle said, yeah, dog. Yeah, man. Some people can definitely relate with that. Get Rich or Die Trying album you're talking about. Some people compare that to the album from The Game, the documentary. Do you find those albums to be comparable in greatness? What's your take?
In that time, yeah, the fucking documentary classic too. Like they both had, you know what I'm saying, out the gate classic album. You know what I mean? Documentary.
That'd be quite the debate right there, wouldn't it?
You know what? That's a good topic for a debate.
Jesus, man. I think they're probably similar in length as well, which makes it good.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Ain't too many, you know what I'm saying? The documentary don't have like 5 more songs than Get Rich or Die Trying, and Get Rich or Die Trying don't have like 3 more songs, you know, than documentary. So
yeah. Yo, Fredo, we might have somebody coming in here. We might have someone coming in here to spar with you. So just give me a second. Just give me a second on that. The link to join the chat is pinned in the video for anybody that wants to join. Let me just get this shit charging. For anybody that wants to join, the link is actually pinned up. Right now, I'm also going to take questions from the chat. If anybody in the chat has any questions, just put it in the comments right now, and I will answer your questions. We gave the Finally Rich album an A overall. Finally Rich, Chief Keef, A overall. So that's just how I felt about the album. Very dope album. Appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight on The Real. Fredo came in here and hit us with some dope bars as well. RBH gave us some dope bars. Majestic from St. Louis joined us as well. Right now, I'm just waiting on the Grind TV. We might have another freestyler. We might have another freestyler coming in momentarily. I've got a Fredo staying in on the check-in as well. Excuse me, RBH. Will be coming at RBH will be joining us. It looks like we got Shells. Looks like we got is it Shells on the Grind TV? Let me see. I'm posting it up right now for anybody who wants to join. Class Classic said, is Chief Keef good? Is Chief Keef good? Is there any news on it yet? Well, there's actually no new update on Chief Keef at this point, other than to say that he is actually hospitalized with a unknown medical situation. It could be anything like COVID even. It could be something like COVID-19, and that's something that takes up to 2 weeks to handle. Mpon Entertainment, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for enjoying the content. Got a couple new interviews up. I just dropped some shit with Uncasa. Also, I wrapped up my exclusive interview with Cassidy. Also, I have a new interview with OT The Real up. So I've got a whole bunch of new content for you guys to check, for everyone to check out. Bivens, bro, was nice. Mikey T, have you ever heard YG Just Red 2 album? No, I have not. I have not heard that. I haven't heard too much from YG after he did some of that work with Young Jeezy. But YG has kept his name on the scene. Let me look it up. Let me check it out. Let me see if YG comes in real here. YG, there we go. I'm not seeing, okay. I'm not seeing the Red album here. What album did you say? Ooh. Just Red 2. Just Red 2. I'm not seeing that album anywhere. I see My Crazy Life, Still Brazy, Stay Dangerous, For Real, My Life 400. Yeah. I'm familiar with a few of those albums. Okay, Majestic just gave me word that Reek the Villain hit him back. Yo, on the grind TV, just waiting on you, my dude. You gotta use a don't use Safari when you're clicking on that link. Shells that used to do the mixtape out your way. Yeah, I'm waiting to see who this is. I'm waiting to see who we got for you, Fredo. I'm waiting to see. Oh, it's actually a mixtape. Oh, the alkaline. I don't know if I've tried that one, man, but I do mess with this. Let me see. I gotta roll up anyways. Yo, Superstar Shells, hit that link that I got pinned, bro, and come hit us with some of those hot bars. Yo, Fredo, log back in. Your camera's frozen. I'm about to roll something up, you guys. I'm about to roll something up and wait on this joint. We got 2 heavy spitters about to be in here. Okay, Fredo's back in. Perfect. Yo, Shells, just hit the link that's pinned. Don't use Safari unless you're just on your phone, but just don't use Safari and you'll be good. You'll be good to go. All right, well, yo, Superstar Shells, log on. At least log on the chat so we can get going and you can hear what Fredo's got too. Class. I don't know why you're not getting notifications. Maybe you got to hit that bell on the side. I'm twisting up right now. Fredo, hold on. All right, Fredo, it looks like we got a spitter about to step up and show us some bars. Okay, yeah, I was just messing with you. I know you did that. Nah, he found it on the Grind TV. I'm pretty sure he's just rolling up right now and about to come in. I am about to. And I'm rolling up right now too. We are just waiting on Shells to join us, guys, and then we're going to have some bars for y'all. Maybe I should bring Fredo in the spit. Okay, here we go. We got Shells right here.
What up?
Yo, what up, Superstar Shells? What's poppin', man?
What up?
Yo, man, first I want you to introduce yourself. Let everybody know where you're from.
814 Erie PA, it's your boy Superstar Shells, my man. Straight out the top of the state, shit like that. We're in New York right now, though, my man. So,
Okay, where'd you say you was from?
I'm from 814 Erie PA, Erie, Pennsylvania. Top of the state. My man, Lake City, shit like that.
Erie, PA in the building.
Hey, facts.
Shells, man. How long you been rapping for, Shells?
I've rapped for a minute, bro. My man. It started off as a project game and shit, my man. The niggas got serious once we stretched out our projects and went to other little like neighborhoods and shit. And we realized, my man, niggas got bars for real. We was better than a lot of niggas in the city. So We kept rocking with it.
All right, yo, Shells, I want to give you the opportunity. I want to give you the open space to showcase yourself right now. So hit everybody with some of them hot bars.
All right, I got you. Let me see. I said 40% black, 60% Sicilian. Couldn't tell you the difference from which life she be really in. Back doors of the club, feeling to bring a Philly in. Lost in the sauce, she seeming to be a Gilligan. Type of girl, type of pearl. Guess she in that type of world where juggle there's nothing she drinking but too hype to Earl. Nicest girl, but only go for the worst men to put you in the worst win. That's when your life will swirl. College tuition turned into powder addiction. She getting blown on the road and she too clouded to listen. Heading straight into trouble, ain't too proud of a mission, but being under influence usually straight up your vision. Plus, she stealing from stores for niggas billing the raw. Do deals in the car, few bills in the jar. Might have seen her if your crew chills in the bar, wasting a nigga's faces, a few pills in a jar. Mumbling while stumbling, stomach probably grumbling, running around the town, the scene around her is crumbling, getting the customers coming in the house at any hours of the day, just coming in and out. Got crumbs up in the couch, and the summer is a drought, spaced out with the feeling of numbness in the mouth. No green, smoke screens, hang around a bunch of coke fiends, wearing cut low jeans in the dope scene. Hope things get better by doing nothing and just breathe. But one day she said, whatever, I'll just leave. She did that, smoked the last weed bag. Then took her ass to the rehab, packed 3 bags of clothes she used to boost. Lost so much weight, all her clothes was getting loose. She used to take pictures posing with a boost sticking out. Now she flicking out, posing with some juice. She accepts all the shit that she learned and all the bridges she burned. Now everything she wants is finna be earned. Her family no longer getting concerned with all the whereabouts. Because no longer where she goes, she don't care about thinking of a past from a window that she's staring out. Feeling like she's cured, but the feeling's too soon. It was about mid-June at 12 o'clock at noon in the house where some niggas was playing in to air it out. She was there talking to fiends about getting clean. Shouldn't even have been seen up in the scene. She looked down the street, seen a car pull up. It pulled up. Inside was a teen with a machine gun, a Marsburger, sawed off shoddy. Tried to haul off. His blood was squirting off her body. Tried to pray and all, but didn't make it fall. Like skies is the limit. Now here, take a star. While on the ground, a man ran up who could have been a killer. He looked up in her eyes like she could have looked familiar. A feeling pinched his heart like the feeling of a lover. Long lost love, y'all. The killer was a brother. What he thought, she thought was impossible. Woo. Shit. Hoping an ambulance from a hospital get through. Before she drew her last breath, she looked in her eyes and said, long as God forgive me, I can forgive you. He turned his face like he trying to cry another way. Pressed down on her heart and said, die another day. Her whole life flashed in the instant of a minute and started to rewind from ending to beginning. 40% black, facing how the beginning started and all that type shit, you know what I mean?
Yo, just Shells, hold on for a second. Shells, yo, I'm gonna have Fredo come in, spit something real quick. Shells, if you got something else for us, just stay tapped in.
Oh, of course.
All right. Yo, Fredo, man. Hit us with some hot bars, man.
All right, look, I said, I strangle and Benjamin till they blew in the face. LBCs, before the victories, many losses were taken. That's VLs, the hell with LVs. I ain't seeing Louis V's, I'm seeing CC's. I ain't talking Chanel's, I'm talking emails for further details. Slow it down for the snails, fill the full of nails to the casket drop. I see ASKET a op, fresh from out the mud, out the garden of Eureka. I stay with hot bars, sprinkle a lot of paprika, keep biting flows, you gon' contract Zika. I'm balling like Mike, superpower in the sneaker. I make them bow, wow, kiss the ring, oh God, I'm a Don, Sean voice. Can't wait to pull up in that Rolls Royce. That's a wide body looking like a BBW. Something like, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. Nah, man. Fredo, appreciate you tapping in and giving us some bars tonight. Light bars. We're going to get a little hip-hop tournament going on tomorrow night. But tonight, we're just giving them a little bars.
Right.
All right. Yo, Shells, hit us one more time, man. My bad, Shells. My bad. You was on mute. You was on mute. You're good to go now, Shells.
She say that she gone, just let it burn. She looking for a makeup, her hair is up in a perm. A man of 5 years just left her, she ain't concerned. The major opportunities passing out with eternity, grasping at every turn of events. They're murdering since. People started to murder for sense. Left the family at 14, they haven't heard of her since. Her word is intense. When nerves from being nervous in sense, she slowed down to think like they'll never lead a burner with prints. Her patience is fading, she making statements amazing, her face is Satan. She basically patiently waiting the day she changed locations. She making faces, she anxious without a motivation. Used to blow the Buddha, the soother, now she on probation. Older days when she used to this kill, using this still, moving with skill, with a crucial appeal. She would get high, then start to shoot for the thrill. Let her cook fly, and when you die, she threw with the deal. Without giving the goodbye, you notice with the eye of locust, supplying pokers, a knife and a lot of white to a block of smokers. She got a grind up, whole lineup of cocker chokers with the mentality thinking like every guy is bogus. She started off as a scandalous gambler from Los Angeles, scrambling with manhandling, handlers, handling gram amateurs, vanishing, van vanishes, damaging land managers, standing on grand banisters. She could have been a leader for someone to follow, but went to college in Chicago, learned how to be a model. But the thing was, father used to sling drugs. Mother was strung out on that glass dicker, sipping out of a bottle. Her men left her because of attributes, thing that she would have to do without having no gratitude, always having an attitude, waking up like I'm mad at you, like, wait, I have to move, puff a drink, go make a couple points that I have to prove. A true diva in a two-seater, new sneakers, blue reefer, murder music, bass in front of some cool speakers, running through ether like a crack addict. Hold up, she back at it, all black jacket in a new heater. She on a mission, her ambition is catching the body, like flexing somebody, leaving them bleeding, stretching the lobby. Her crime was pride, that no one was blessing the pride, cause catching wreck with a shotty just an obsession in mommy. She used to black out, put a Mac on and clap out the back or the front, or just blow the front of her back or the spun. Well, at least to her, the people call police on her, try bringing peace to her, but when she pull in the strap up, they run. Ain't no giving a solution to a person that really deserve to be up in the mental institution, cause she poison. Into the world, she giving the pollution secluded. Her world different, like she living a delusion. With any drama today, pull out the llama and spray on mama's pride, anybody inside of her way. Shit, have major armor any day. She down for major drama, and out of all the names they could have gave her, they named her Karma. Dang.
Wow, superstar Shells, man. I appreciate you joining us tonight. Some people were asking in the chat, how do they find you on social media, Shells? Let everybody know where they tap in.
You can find me on Facebook, most definitely. Shells Bys. Shells like SHELLZ Bys BYES. You can find me on Instagram, superstar Shells _999. I'm on SoundCloud, Shells Bys. You can go on that Piff and download the mixtape, type in Superstar Shells. You know what I mean? It's all spelled separate, like super, star with 2 R's, and Shells with a Z. That's on thatpiff.com. That's the first mixtape, Sky's the Limit. And shit like that, man.
Man, Superstar Shells. I hope you join us again for an actual time when you can come on and we can get some people to vote on the spit-in.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, we're gonna subscribe to your shit and all that. Know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I think you definitely just made an impression tonight, man. The people know it, man. Shells is in the building, and you're gonna see him again on Report Card Radio, sparring with some of the other artists, man.
Hey man, whoever want it, man, tell them holla at me. I mean, ain't about shit.
Erie, PA, man. Appreciate you for tapping in, man.
Word.
All right, follow me on the gram, Shells. Mikey T _ the movie star. I'm gonna follow you back.
Thanks, bro.
All right, geez. Salute to you, man. Yo, Fredo, we're about to get up out of here. You want to let everybody know where to follow you on social media?
Yeah, everything is Afredo, AFRADO, SoundCloud, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that shit. Everything Afredo.
All right, Fredo, I appreciate you for joining us tonight, man. It looks like we got a new spitter in the field, man. Shells is heavy.
Yeah, it came in. You know what I'm saying? The flow crazy.
Yep. We'll tap in a bit, Fredo, man. Salute.
All right, man. Salute.
Salute to my dude, Fredo, right there. Major salute to Shells. You weren't lying on the Grind TV, man. Your boy spit. Shells spit. He definitely made an impression with the audience tonight. I look forward to seeing him coming back. Fam's a spitter. Yep. But I appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. If anybody wants to support the channel, Cash App donations are accepted. Appreciate you guys. Anybody that donates to the channel, it's Cash App Mikey T Movie. We're about to get out of here. We're about to call it a night. It was definitely a great show. We spoke on Chief Keef, his whole situation. Hopefully we can give you a better update on that in the coming days. But we also, RBH and myself, wanted to come in and review the Finally Rich album. Appreciate that. Class Classic. He said, first time seeing a live stream here. 100 you lit, Mikey. Yeah, we just wanted to, for the last couple days, some people have been talking about the Finally Rich album. So RBH and myself wanted to come on and review it as well. We went over every track. Majestic from St. Louis, our other co-host, actually came on and joined us. So that really made it worthwhile. The album actually got an A. And then we had a couple dope battles. Superstar Shells, that Superstar with 2 R's. Superstar Shells came on here, Erie, PA, and really showed out. And Afredo jumped on here as well and let the people know he's sticking around. A lot of people have got to know Afredo on the channel, and I salute Superstar J for coming in as well. But I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. It's your boy, Mikey T, the movie star. Like I said, if anybody wants to support the channel, hit that Cash App so you can see more videos like this. Major salute to everyone. The Triangle, salute to you. Thank you guys very much for tuning in.